Hi, are you ready to adapt, my fans? Because I've got the Poyiccot adapter, waterproof IP68. That's the maximum rating you can get for dust is 6, and the maximum you can get for water is 9. So I put this thing through some testing to find out what is really going on with this. But I'm sure you're asking, why are you showing me this tube with two blue stripes on it? Okay, the blue stripes are O-ring gaskets, and this is actually for connecting or extending a USB-C cables. So on the inside, my piece just flew away. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go find it. So you can see now, there are two USB connectors on each side. So this acts as an extension, and within each of these barrels is one of these special gaskets. Now you'll notice this side is just a straight circle, whereas this side has a lip, and that matches the lip that is on the end of these compression fingers. So I can't really easily show it to you, but you can kind of see there that there is a lip. And so when you apply this here, and it's difficult. I'm not really sure of the best way. I played with different methods. I don't know what happened to the instructions, but I think the best thing you can do is to put it, make sure it's like this, because then it's sitting on that lip. Unfortunately, that's easy. Actually putting this all together is a pain in the butt. Now I'm going to, oops, I was trying to run away on me. I'm only going to demonstrate one side. The other side, no. Sorry, but I find this aggravating enough without having to actually do the whole thing. So we'll do that, and then I'll tell you what I did for testing. And you can decide whether this is something you want to try. Because I saw other reviewers saying, oh, it works great. I didn't submerge it in water, which you would do with IP rating of 8, like this has. Or if it was 7, then you would spray it with a jet spray, not like a super powerful one, but a kind of a regular one, like in your kitchen, I guess. And then 6 and 5, I think, are like something gentler than that. And it just keeps on going down from there. But yeah, I am not going to torment myself by doing more than one side because it was aggravating. So keep in mind what I said, that this is a 6, which is the maximum for dustproof, and an 8, which is almost the maximum for waterproof. And I will tell you right now, if you are looking at cable size and you notice the difference between these two cables, and I'll even add this one in, do not use this size. This size is bad. This size is thick enough. And I think this is like 26, 24. This is 24 AWG. So anything greater than 24, higher than 24, which means smaller in diameter, is going to be a significant problem. Why? Well, I'm just going to tell you what my testing results showed me. With the combination of different cables, which was not really entirely accidental, partially accidental. I was just grabbing whatever I found and lying around. And so I had this one, which was thick, and this one here, which is, I don't think this is 24. I think this is 26. Yeah, so this one's a little bit too thin, I think. Just to see what would happen. Don't do anything less than 24 AWG. Trust me on this. I tried, I think it was 3 times. I redid the installation 3 times. I tried different ways of putting it together. One time I had it looking like that. And another time I had it looking like it was just kind of in there, You could see it was present, but it was not sticking out very much, and it had the wrong end out. The lipped end was out instead of in. So I tried it like this, and that's with the lipped end out. And then I also tried it with the lipped end lipped end in, yet it was also placed such that it would kind of poke out, because when it didn't poke out, yeah, that didn't work out. Unfortunately, so I tried it like that, and then I poked it out somewhat, and then I tried it like that, and this is a pain in the butt. So I tried it both ways, yeah? 3 ways. None of them worked. All of them leaked. All of them failed an immersion of mere maybe 2 minutes in 2 inches of water where I was tapping it against the sink. So I'm just sitting there holding the cables out, and I'm going tap, 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 and I'm watching these bubbles come out. Now, at first it looked like there were just bubbles on the outside of the device, and they were just tiny bubbles. So I wiped off all the tiny bubbles in my brain. Sorry. And once I had done that, I tried again. And at first I didn't see bubbles, but then I started to see bubbles. Each time bubbles were coming out of one or both ends. And that was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So ultimately, as far as it being IP68, unless you're using cables that are thick enough, and I would even say go with 22, just to be safe, 22 AWG. Unless you have thick enough cables, it will not be waterproof. It will not be spray proof. Now, the maximum, the 9, is related to high pressure sprayers, but 7 is just jet sprayers like you'd find in your kitchen or your bathroom or something. I don't think it would pass even the 7. I think it probably would pass 5 or 6, but not 7, and it failed 8. So again, I'm going to say this one more time to be very, very clear. If you want it to actually be waterproof, IP68, not IP43, for example, you must use a USB cable with a thick enough diameter. You cannot use a flat cabled USB-C. Now this is not a USB, but I'm just using it as an example. So this is a flat cable. You do not want to use a flat cable because this is designed for round cables. And that's about it. I'm still hesitant to recommend this because I was not able to produce the results that are expected. Nevertheless, I believe that if you can get it right, and if there were instructions that came with this product, I can't find them. I may have taken them out and then forgot to put them back in. They could be on my desk somewhere. I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's... all right, enough blathering on and on about that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to do the installation. Now, if you have a USB A to C like this, actually all 3 of these are USB A to C, it is better if you don't need a USB A, if you can do USB, oh no, I'm just knocking things down. That's not good. If you can do just USB-Cs, it'll be a little bit easier. And here's the reason why. The USB-A plug is too big to fit through that ring. So you have to do it in a little bit of an awkward way. And unfortunately, that means you can damage your cable, okay? Because what ends up happening is that as you are screwing everything together, the cable starts to twist, or the cables start to twist. With this, you can do the arrangement of or the connections in a different order so that twisting doesn't happen. So I do not recommend using USB A with any of the Poyiccot or other brands devices. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show you what happens when you use USB A. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to demonstrate. It can't go through. Yeah, even if I try to force it, it won't go through. So what you must do then is you must put the cable through here. That's step number one with USB A. Once you've got that done, then you're going to use the cable, the barrel, but don't screw it all together. Just let it hang. All right. Then you're going to take your gasket for the cables and you're going to put it like this so that the lip is facing toward the middle because you want it to sit on the lip inside that I showed you in the top of the barrel. Then you will connect this. Now what I'm doing, you cannot do this, okay? You have to have two cables on each side. If you don't have two cables on the other side, or on one side, that is, then you must make sure that it is not exposed to dust and water. You can only have the side that is filled with two cables exposed to those things. So, but I want to first demonstrate what the problem is here. So now that you've got it like this, the first step is you're going to screw this together. And if you, hold on a second. Sorry, before you screw it together, you have to place the gasket. Now you could try doing it from this end as well. I haven't tried that. And in fact, I think I'm going to try that this time because doing it the way I'm doing it right now is particularly awkward because I have to use this to help push it through. But if I do it the other way, I might be able to make it easier for myself. Possibly. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and screw this in. And then I'm going to take this, again with the lip facing toward the middle. And I'm going to slide this here. Well, not really slide, it just opens up and puts it in place. And you can see there's a lot of space in there, but it gets compressed. And that's part of the reason why I suggest maybe better to go with AWG22. So you put that in there like that, and then you close it up. Now, if you can do it that way, that's fantastic because you're not going to have twisting of the cables. But if you can't do it that way, I'll show you that now. All right, so if you are going to do this with two USB-Cs, which you must if you want to have dust-proof and waterproof, you're going to take the second one and you're also going to put that one through the, got to get this ring out of here, through that ring, and then through the barrel, and plug it in. Then you should be able to screw it together. Now, previously what I had been doing is I was connecting all this stuff up first, as far as like putting this gasket in here. So when I was screwing this together, the cables were getting twisted up inside of there, which is obviously not good for the cables. So I suggest doing it this way instead, if you can possibly avoid doing it any other way. So you just put that like that on the two cables and get it slipped in there. Screw it closed. It's It's much easier doing it this way than the way I was doing it before. So I may even, I'll probably just retest it. But in order to do that, I think this is too thin. I'm going to have to find some thicker cables to finish retesting, which is unfortunate, but that is the challenge. Now, if I look at the way these are seated, I don't see any gaps. So it is possible that it may be okay and will not leak. However, I think part of the problem is actually the compression fingers themselves. So yeah, it's hard to say for sure, especially since I could not find any instructions online, and I haven't heard back yet from Poyiccot about the instructions. So again, with this one, the other side, you're going to be doing the same thing, but now this is USB-C on both sides instead of USB-A, so I don't have to actually follow the same instructions that I followed. So I can plug it in here, I can thread it through the barrel, screw the barrel on, and this will be easier. Thread it through the ring, and then make sure that I've got both of them in there, right? Don't forget, 2, not 1. If you want to only do 1, they have another one that's for 1 only. For USB-C, they've got 1 and 2 also for USB-A. So we're going to connect this up with the lip facing inward toward the middle. Pretend that there's a second USB-C here. Put that in. I'm holding on to the other end because otherwise the ring will fall off, or you can just wait till later to put the ring on. And then you screw this into place. Just like that. And yeah, I see still think that there's a potential for it to leak. If I can locate another USB-C, I think I have one somewhere. I just don't know where I put it right now. Okay, so that is the trick for that. Unfortunately, I reran the testing just now, and water got in on both sides, including on the side where I had one larger cable. So it's really important to find out which cable size is the appropriate one for this product, or else find another product, I guess, because I'm just kind of frustrated at this point. I figured out an easier way to put it together, even if it's USB-A, but I also noticed that when I had to take it apart, it wasn't easy to take apart. The cables did twist at that point. So I guess at this point, unless somebody can give me a tutorial on how to use them properly and what AWG is the correct one, and AWG stands for WG is wire gauge. I don't remember what A is. Maybe it's American, maybe it's average. I don't know. So yeah, it's just okay. Thanks for watching, Afi, and have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.